Hey guys, it's Christian back again with my December 2018 game pickups video. I was going to do this a little later this month, but one of the games I was waiting for in December isn't going to ship until January now. So I figured I'd do this video right away for you guys. I've got 20 games nonetheless to show off. One I picked up yesterday or the day before, kind of a surprise Goodwill pickup. But we will get right into this and start with the newest systems. And a lot of these games, well, pretty much all these PS4 games I'm going to show, other than one of them, is basically from various Black Friday deals. The first one, going in alphabetical order, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection on PS4. Now, this came out a while back. It's basically Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. So the entire Ezio trilogy, as it's called. Now, I didn't want to get this originally because it has PS4 Pro support, and you couldn't access the higher resolution mode unless you owned a 4K TV. It didn't have a built-in super sampling option, but they eventually made a super sampling option on the PS4 Pro dashboard. So I'm able to enjoy this on my 1080p screen super sampled. So I got it for $20 at Walmart. I actually could have gotten it slightly cheaper at Best Buy for, I believe, $15, but that version sold out like almost immediately. So I actually went for this maybe a week earlier than Black Friday, just because I wanted to buy it and get it out of the way. I didn't care that much for a $5 difference. I knew it might be hard to find on Best Buy anyways. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to have it. It's nice because Assassin's Creed 2 had 2 of the chapters as DLC in the Xbox 360 original. So it's nice to have it all on one disc with all the DLC. Definitely one of the best Assassin's Creed games is 2 and all of its expansions. Okay, next up, we got this. And this wasn't a Black Friday deal, but I ordered this on eBay. It's the UK import of Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered. So yeah, this did come out in the US, but only digitally, so you have to import it to get a physical disc. And yeah, it is indeed physical. And yeah, this is actually a pretty underrated Assassin's Creed game. It originally came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, right around the time Assassin's Creed Unity was released, or maybe the same day, I can't remember. But this is more of an Assassin's Creed 4 expansion than, you know, Unity was kind of a change in the formula. But I think this was the better game overall. Unity is okay, but this just took what was great about Assassin's Creed 4 and expanded on it. But yeah, I had the original PS3 version, but that version graphically dumbed down compared to Assassin's Creed 4 on PS4. Bad frame rate and all that. So yeah, this one almost looks on par with Assassin's Creed 4 now, or maybe a better resolution-wise since it has PS4 Pro support. But yeah, it's nice to have all the higher-end graphical features and higher resolution with this compared to the kind of outdated PS3 version at this point. So yeah, I was glad to get it. I did pay like $25 for this. So not the best deal ever, but still, I'm glad to have it now. And I believe next year we're going to get Assassin's Creed 3 remastered. Right now it's a digital only thing with the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Season Pass, which I will never buy Odyssey most likely unless it's $5. But supposedly they're going to do a standalone release of Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. So hopefully that has a disc release. I'll definitely pick that up. And hopefully it actually comes to the US rather than making me import once again. Alright, so next up, Got another Black Friday deal. This is Burnout Paradise Remastered. And I forget what I paid for this. I think it was very little. I think I paid maybe $8 or less with my Best Buy GCU. I always enjoyed this game. I have the digital PC version, like the complete box collection. But, you know, I always wanted to own this game on a physical disc. So this is the best way to go. And since I got it for like $8 on Black Friday, that was cool. It's a very fun game. Burnout series is pretty cool in general. This one's more open world. I think games like Burnout 3, which is considered one of the best, is more linear tracks. But I still like this one. But Burnout 3, I believe, is considered the best. And I do have that on PS2. Also very fun. And next up, another Black Friday deal. I got this at the GameStop used bargain bin for $5. That's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Usually how it goes with Call of Duty games for me is I never buy them on release. I always wait till they're under $10 just to play the single player, because honestly I don't play the multiplayer much or at all. But this game is actually decent. I think it's like a 10 or 12 hour story, so single player wise it's actually pretty good. I'd say it's about as good as Titanfall 2's campaign, although Titanfall 2 might be a little better as far as originality, but this is still pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. And this whole time I didn't even realize that like every Call of Duty game since I believe, I want to say Call of Duty Ghosts or maybe Black Ops has had multiplayer that you could play locally with bots. So that really appeals to me. I finally discovered that with this game. So yeah, you can play it completely offline with bots. Very cool. Very nice futuristic storyline with this. You know, it takes the Call of Duty formula and puts it into space. You know, space combat, zero gravity combat, stuff like that. So pretty cool. And then I also picked this up at Best Buy on Black Friday. Another Call of Duty. This is Modern Warfare Remastered. And I got this one for $15. So I wanted this for a while, but I didn't want to pay the standalone price, which was like, I believe, $40. So yeah, getting it for $15 was the sweet spot for me. This is definitely one of the best Call of Duty games. So it's nice to have this remastered version since the Xbox 360 one is kind of outdated resolution-wise. It runs below 720p. But yeah, this looks really good. I'm glad to have it. And just like Infinite Warfare, you can play the multiplayer completely offline with bots and split screen. So that's really nice. Still trying to beat that. I've beaten the Modern Warfare 1 campaign so many times though. Another Black Friday pickup. That's Fallout 4. I didn't go for the Game of the Year edition because I got this one very cheap. I got it for $11. And the Game of the Year edition doesn't have all the content on a disc. So I didn't see much point in getting that since I can just buy the DLC later. So yeah, and the DLC does go on sale quite a bit on PSN. Well, you know, maybe once a year. So I figured I'll just pay the initial price of $11, see how far I actually play in it, and then decide later if I'll buy the DLC. However, if it was the Game of the Year edition on a disc, I would have bought that for whatever price because I love Game of the Year editions. But nope, Bethesda dropped the ball on their Game of the Year edition of this, and on this game kind of. It's nowhere near as good as Fallout New Vegas, obviously. They kind of made it a mindless shooter, and it doesn't have the choice and the depth of, you know, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 2, and I guess Fallout 3 as well. But still, for $11, I might as well try it out. Okay, almost through the PS4 games here. It's going to be a lengthy video. Another Black Friday pickup. That's God of Soy. God of War. Yes, I picked up God of Soy. The price was so good on Black Friday. It was $17 at Best Buy. So I believe it was $17. Or no, was that Best Buy? Because if it was Best Buy, I got it for a little bit less, probably like 15. But yeah, God of Soy, got it. Oh no, I think this might have been GameStop. But anyways, I got it around $15 or $17. But yeah, God of Soy. The director of this is a total fucking SJW cuck, but the game itself is really good. Just glad I didn't pay full price. Alright. Next up, another Black Friday pick, and that's Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, remaster, whatever, on PS4. And I do actually have the PS3 remaster with Ico. But I did want this one, but not for full price, just because they've already remastered it once. And this is much better remastering than the PS3 version. It pretty much a remake. I believe I paid, I want to say I paid like $17 or $20 for this. So, yeah, maybe it was less. It might have been like 15, but yeah, I got a lot of games pretty much all under $20 for Black Friday. So I played a bit of it. It looks very, very nice. Very good PS4 Pro support. It lets you pick 1080p with 60 frames a second, or I believe, I don't know if it's native 4K or just under 4K at 30 frames. But I play on the 60 frames per second mode. It still looks very nice. I got a 1080p TV, so yeah, very cool remake. Alright, last PS4 game I got, another Black Friday. This one snuck up on me during Cyber Monday. It might have even been on Tuesday that I got it, but that's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This is the actual Steelbook edition. You can see. I'll just show you the contents. I got this for, I believe, $20. It was, I believe, $27 maybe. But I used my GCU discount and $5 GCU coupon I had. But yeah, it comes with these little like postcards in here, which is what the extra is that you get with the Steelbook. There's also a Croft Steelbook edition with a slightly different outer slipcover, and it comes with the season pass basically. But you know, if it's not on the disc, I don't really care. So I'll just, if the game is good enough, I'll buy the season pass when it's on sale. I'm just glad to have the Steelbook and the complete trilogy now on PS4. I enjoyed the other two games, Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. So, yeah, this one kind of bombed, though. I'm not sure why. I played a little bit of it, and it looks just as good as the other ones, but I guess it was just more of the same, and people didn't want to pay $60 for more of the same. But paying $20 for this, I'm perfectly happy with. It's probably not that bad of a game, not as bad as Fallout 76 or, what's the other disaster? Battlefield 5. I'll never touch either of those, especially not Fallout, since I hate online-only games. Alright, one more current-gen game, and then we're switching to older generations. So, first up is one that came out, I believe, 2 or 3 days ago, and that is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on Nintendo Switch. It did come with this at Best Buy, just a silly little Smash Brothers coin. So I figured I would show that. But yeah, I've been playing it for 2 days. I finally unlocked all of the characters, which was pretty annoying, to be honest. I hate their unlock system. You basically have to play for 10 minutes about, and then you get a chance to fight a challenger. And if you beat that challenger, you get that new character. 70 characters in this game. And basically, if you did the normal method of unlocking them, it would probably take you like 10 hours straight. But what I did was use kind of this exploit where you, when you get into the challenge fight, if you lose the fight, you have to exit the game via the Switch dashboard before the game end, like the match over screen finishes. So if you know you died on the challenger, you exit the game and restart it, and then it lets you re-challenge that guy again. So makes it go a lot faster, but it's still annoying because they crank up the AI difficulty in a lot of these challenger fights. So characters that you really want, like Cloud Strife, are super annoying, cheap AI that reads your inputs. So that was a bit of frustration for me, but I got them all unlocked, so now I can properly enjoy the game with the full roster. Come on, Nintendo, just let me play the characters that I paid money for. Don't make me jump through hoops like that. But it's a good game. I didn't buy Smash Brothers on Wii U because it had so much DLC. And Ultimate is basically a Game of the Year edition with all the DLC and more. And it's going to have more DLC, unfortunately. But only 5 characters, so... yeah, I think the base game is a good value, though. Alright, so now we're going back one generation. And we're going to start with Xbox 360. This is the one I found yesterday at Goodwill, randomly. That's Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, but it's a weird double pack with Viva Pinata, which I actually already own the standalone disc of. But I really did want to try Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. It was poorly received, but you know, I got this double pack for I think $4 at Goodwill. So as you can see, it's 2 platinum hits discs, and it does actually have both instruction manuals in here. So yeah, it's basically like getting the standalone because you get all the content. You just get a weird like double-sided cover. I have not played Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts yet. I believe maybe I played the demo back when it first came out, and it's more like a vehicle building type game and a kind of a more open world as far as I know. So for $4, we'll see if I can get some enjoyment out of it. Alright, next up, a game I do already own on PC. That's Fear 3. With a lot of the games I own digitally on PC, I eventually wanted to get physical copies of them on console, just for collection's sake, and this was one of them. Not the best Fear game ever. I'd say that it would go to Fear 1, but I'm not sure. In some ways it's better than Fear 2. I think the shooting is a little bit better in Fear 3. But the atmosphere in Fear 2 is much better. But yeah, this isn't made by the original Monolith team. It's made by Day One Studios. And it's on a completely different engine from Monolith's other games. But it's still pretty fun. It's mainly focused on co-op, but it's got some nice shooting action and good gore effects. So I wanted to own a physical copy of this. And I believe I paid very little, probably like $5 on eBay for that. Next up, another, this was around like maybe a week before Black Friday. It was one of the deals at Best Buy. Grand Theft Auto 4, the episodes from Liberty City. Now, I actually do have both of these DLC episodes on 360. But yeah, I got them digital. And I do have the physical Grand Theft Auto 4 trilogy on PS3. But I always wanted the physical disc of the Xbox 360 version because the Xbox 360 is the best console version, performance-wise and graphically. I believe the PS3 runs below 720p. So yeah, I finally have GTA 4 and the episodes on a disc, which is good. Plus, with like the PC version, I believe, they patched out a bunch of the songs in 4 and the episodes. So it's nice to have a physical copy that they can patch it, but you can play it offline if you choose. I believe they haven't patched the disc versions of Grand Theft Auto 4 to remove those songs. So, yeah. But yeah, it's cool to have physical disc of this. Anyways. Another one I have on PC. The Saboteur. I was interested in buying this on day one when it came out, but probably, as usual, there was a ton of releases at the time, and this just got the axe. I did eventually get the PC version, like I said, on sale, but as you know, I like physical games, so I wanted to get this, which looks way worse than my PC version. And one stupid thing about this is it had nude DLC. Basically, day one DLC. If you bought the game, you got a code to enable nudity in the strip club, and then an extra mini game, something like a card game or something in the back room, which isn't a huge deal, but it's just like for preservation's sake, it's stupid because that DLC you can't purchase anymore. So there's no way to really have the nudity in this game unless you play the PC version, which I have, so whatever. But yeah, it's a very good game. It's made by the people that did Mercenaries and Mercenaries 2, World in Flames. So it's very similar open world, destructible environments type of gameplay. This is in World War II. I believe you play as French resistance, and the interesting thing is the Nazi-controlled areas are all in black and white, and then except for like the red of their banners and everything. But once you liberate an area, it becomes full-colored. So yeah, it's a pretty good game. But yeah, not much to say other than that. Saboteur, glad to finally have it. There's like 2 more Xbox 360 games I want to pick up that I do own on PC already. One of them's Alice Madness Returns. I forget what the other one is. That might be it, but there might be one more. But anyways, we'll go back another generation now to Xbox Original. This game I wanted to try for a while, Ghost Recon 2. 2011 Final Assault. It's kind of funny because when did this come out? Like 2002 or 2003? Let's see. Oh yeah, 2004. So this was like future. This was near future, but now it's like the near past or kind of a while ago now. So kind of interesting to play nowadays. Third-person tactical shooter. This kind of turned the series more console focused, I guess, kind of, you know, dumbing it down a little bit. But I think this is really fun. It's a lot like Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. You can tell they brought stuff over from this to Advanced Warfighter. Good graphics for the Xbox 360 as well. Big environments, nice textures, lighting, all that. So yeah, very cool. I got this for like $3 on eBay. And then this one as well I decided to pick up was like $5 maybe. It was slightly more than the original. I don't know, maybe the expansion is a little less common. But it was only, you know, $5. So I got Ghost Recon 2 Summit Strike, the expansion. So yeah, it's more of the same, I guess. I only played a little bit just to make sure it worked okay. But yeah, it's very cool, just like the first one. I still need to get some more Xbox Original Rainbow Six games. I believe Lockdown, Critical Hour, and the Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow expansion. So those are all pretty cheap, so I'll grab them at some point. Alright, now we're getting down to the final set of games here. 4 more. First one is 3 GameCube games. I've been trying to clean up my GameCube collection. I believe my GameCube collection is pretty much done, but there's probably 3 or 4 more games I could potentially pick up, but they're not games that I really want that much. But anyways, these are ones I always was wanting to get but never did. First one is Geist, which is a first-person shooter slash adventure game. It's hard to just call it a shooter because you're a ghost wandering around environments possessing objects and different creatures and humans. There's some shooting when you possess a soldier, but it's a lot of puzzle solving and kind of first-person adventuring. But it's made by N-Space, which did one of my favorite Duke Nukem games is Duke Nukem Time to Kill on PS1 and Land of the Babes on PS1. So I did enjoy their work, and it's kind of interesting to see them do another shooter. It's not the best GameCube graphics, but it definitely looks decent enough. And it's an interesting concept. It's kind of a, maybe a hidden gem in a way. It's not that great though, but it's kind of a hidden, worth playing game, I would say. So yeah, Geist, finally got it. I didn't pay much for it either. I think I paid like $20 maybe. So, and then another GameCube game, which I did kind of pay a bit too much for. I believe I paid $35 for this, and that is PN03, or product number 03. Now this was a set of Capcom games that were exclusive to the GameCube, at least originally. This is actually the only one that's still exclusive to the GameCube. Resident Evil 4, Beautiful Joe, and Killer 7 all got ported to other consoles eventually. But yeah, this one's kind of rushed game as far as I know, development-wise. It's an arcadey, futuristic third-person shooter. You play as a female. I don't know if she's a robot or what. She must be. And she shoots just lasers out of the palm of her hand. And she kind of dances around while she's shooting, and then you dodge, and she does a different dance and all that stuff. But yeah, it's very arcadey and hardcore difficulty. It's almost a bit like, it's a bit like Wild Guns, if you've ever played that on SNES. It's almost like you have to stand still and lock on to different targets to shoot them, and then just dodge. There's not a lot of like free movement in the game. It's more about timing and dodges. But yeah, it's kind of repetitive, but it's an interesting exclusive. So I always wanted to have it on GameCube just because, you know, it's a Capcom exclusive, and it's one of the few GameCube games I still don't have. Now I do. So yeah, product number 3. And here's another one that I always wanted. I rented it back in the day, and it just wasn't good enough for me to buy day one, but I eventually decided to pick it up now. That's Wario World. And this is actually made by Treasure, the people that did Ikaruga, Guardian Heroes, stuff like that, Gunstar Heroes. Yeah, it's a 3D version of the Wario series. So it's got some of the similar elements where you can, you know, crash through walls. What else? I mean, what really defines... You know, I don't know if it has the feature where you can put on different caps. I believe you did that in the Virtual Boy game. But yeah, I paid maybe a bit too much for this. I believe I paid like $35 or $40. So, but you know, it's one of those Nintendo adventure franchises that I wanted to get for the GameCube because it is an exclusive and it kind of defines the GameCube in a way. So yeah, I do have it now. It's pretty fun, but I don't know if it's worth $40, but I wanted to have a complete GameCube collection of what I want on the GameCube anyway. It's not complete in the literal sense. Alright, final game, and this is a more interesting one. This is one that's been on my wish list for probably 8 years or more. I finally decided to pick it up before it got too pricey. It was still a decent price though. That's the Japanese import of Vertical Force on Virtual Boy. The actual NTSC version is shooting up in price. I believe it's like $100 or more. But this was only $25 for it. You know, it's complete in box. So yeah, it's cool to have. Take the... And there's not any difference really with the Japanese version, gameplay-wise. The manual is in Japanase, but the game itself doesn't really have a story, so all the menus are in English. It's just a basic, you know, top-down spaceship shoot 'em up. But the interesting thing is they use the 3D effects, so you can basically go up and down different planes of depth. So some enemies will be below you, and some enemies will be closer to the camera. So you can kind of fly down and then fly up to shoot different enemies and dodge projectiles and such. So yeah, it's made by Hudson Soft. They're a decent developer when they were still around. And yeah, it's a decent little shoot 'em up. Maybe not the best shoot 'em up, but it's interesting because it's a Virtual Boy exclusive. There's not many more Virtual Boy games I want at this point. Like, I would love to have Jack Brothers and Gosh, there's not many. 3D Tetris looks kind of interesting. Mario Clash I might want at some point, but if anything, I'll probably just get a Virtual Boy flash cart one day, just so I can play, you know, homebrew games and stuff on it. But yeah, I think I have maybe 6 Virtual Boy games now, so that's probably enough. There's maybe like 20 or 25 Virtual Boy games total, maybe 30. But yeah, Vertical Force was one I always wanted, though. Even like farther back than 8 years, I always wanted this as a kid. So, all right, that is it for my game pickups video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm debating whether I should keep doing those lifting videos. It's getting kind of monotonous to film them, go home, edit them, and all that. It takes up a lot of time for very little payoff with this channel. But if there's enough demand for them, I guess I can keep doing them. But yeah, every once in a while I like doing my game pickups video. But I am getting close to being done collecting even retro games. My wish list is down to maybe 50 games. So, you know, there might only be like 3 more of these videos. Who knows? But then again, I always add new games that I want. But, you know, after this generation, I might be done with gaming. So, you know, you might only get 2 more years of these type of videos. So enjoy them while you can. All right. So that's it for me for now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. All right. Peace.